Okay, guys, this is Ambassador Diamond, Ashley Sinclair, and we are going to jump right into the questions. So, Ashley, can you talk a little bit about how important knowing your why in this business is?
Yeah, great question, Stormy, first of all. I just want to start with that. Great question. Yeah, I think that whys change as we grow in this business. If I could ask all of you for a show of hands and said how many of you started for $500, it would probably be, a vast amount of you probably just started for 300 to 500 bucks, maybe to get the product for free, maybe hoping you could get the product for free. Maybe you thought that you could, help somebody out. I don't know what exactly the reason is that you decided to do this, but I do know that for most of us, that why changes. And so when I initially started, my why was for an extra $500 a month. And then as I began to find out, and this probably sounds terrible, but I don't really care. This was my why when I started. I wanted 500 bucks a month. And then something shifted and happened. And I saw a group of women that were making $10,000 a month. And I was hearing their stories, and I was listening to what, they did to be successful, and how they were stay-at-home moms and teachers. And, they weren't any different from me. And so I remember going through my training and then finding out about these women making $10,000 a month and going, well, good gravy. I mean, she doesn't have anything that I don't have. Why not me? So it turned into, this is my reason why I did this business. To almost for a long time, it was, why not me? If they're doing it, why not me? Why don't I deserve 10 grand a month? And I thought, man, if I worked really hard for the next year or two, I wonder if I could do what they've done. And so that's kind of where I started, was that initial, like, okay, I want 500 bucks a month, to, hey, there's other people doing this making way more. Why am I limiting myself? Let's go for it. And so, and it's grown from there, you guys. Then, my why changed to freedom of time and being able to go where I wanted, when I wanted, and nobody telling me what to do. Now it's changed to, my team, and wanting my team to experience what I've experienced. Now it's wanting to help build a shelter for young women being pulled out of sex trafficking. Like those were things I couldn't have dreamed of before. These are things that have grown. And so my why is constantly expanding, and yours has to as well. If you started for 500 bucks a month and you've made 500 bucks a month, then you better change your stinking why, or you're going to get burned out and bored really quick, So yeah, I think your why, and not only is it incredibly important, but it's important to keep developing it for it to get bigger. And then I think also for it to be something that's greater than yourself. Does that make sense? It's fun to work for your own bank account for a while, but there comes a point where that's not as fulfilling. And you can grow your bank account to this crazy amount and you're still not fulfilled. And so your why's constantly got to be growing, and it's got to include something, I think, that is bigger than you and that's outside of yourself, something that you can accomplish on your own. And so, I would encourage all of you after this to really take time and think about, why do you keep doing this every day? Why day in and day out are you continuing to work this business? What is that end goal? And then, the truth is that this whole vision board and dreaming big and all that stuff, I'm not saying it's hokey, because I believe in all of that. I have a dream board myself, but more than having a dream board, you need a work board. You need that thing that you're working. What are you doing to get that goal, to get that why, to fulfill that reason why you're in it? And a lot of people are like, oh, I'm just dreaming of this. It's on my vision board. And I'm like, okay, you put in half of a loyal customer last month. No offense, but that's not going to get you very far. It's not going to help you reach your why. And so it can't just be a vision board and this dream board. It's got to be a, what am I working toward board, if that makes any sense. It just, that doesn't roll off the tongue as easily. So I'll have to figure out a better way to say that. There you go. Sorry, Stormy, that was sort of a lot.
No, that was perfect. We have a lot. And as I'm sure we have a lot of newbies on with June, how crazy June was. We have a lot of not, but we do have a lot of newbies. So I think it's important for them to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you talk a little bit about the importance of staying plugged in, like why they need to be, you know, staying in the chat, staying on the Zooms, attending events, jumping on the family calls, all that good stuff?
Yeah. You know, I'm going to be really honest with you guys tonight, because I'm sort of just at this, I'm just in a really honest mood. Every time the Sunday night call kind of pops up, I'm like, again. Every time the Monday night call pops up, I'm like, again, I got stuff to do. And I always think I'll go back and listen to that later. But here, let me tell you what I've found. Those kind of calls, Zooms, being plugged in, going to an event, even though I know I'm probably going to hear basically the same info, maybe in a different way. When those things pop up and come up, and I take the time, because it's usually not long, right? 15, 20 minutes to plug in. It always refuels me, excites me. There is something about hearing Mark's voice, Pam's voice, Mike's voice, you know, and hearing from other people that gets me excited and reignites my fire every single week, you know, to be in this business and to continue to keep going. Not to mention, you know, if you have more than one distributor, if you've got 2, 3, 4 distributors, you've got a team, and you've got to be filled up so that you can pour back into them. And, you know, I've tried before. I've thought, oh, I read enough. I've done enough self-development. I've got enough in my brain to share with people. BS. If you are not constantly feeding yourself, you cannot turn around and feed other people. I have learned that. And so, you know, a lot of times I do it selfishly, but a lot of times I do it because I want to have something to be able to take back to my team and share. You know, you had mentioned chats. You know, I'm in a couple of chats. I know that the dings can go off all day and it can get a little annoying. And so, or they do for me. I don't know if they do for y'all. But, you know, one thing that I do is I'll mute things for an hour so that I can sit and get stuff done, right? Also, if you're in a chat, don't be that girl that's constantly thumbs upping and constantly putting an emoji after every freaking thing. Like when our phone goes off, we're programmed to think cha-ching, money. I am. When my messenger goes off, I don't want to be thinking, oh, it's somebody else from my team. I want to be thinking, I'm making money, right? This is how I make money. So, you know, use good group chat etiquette. This is something that I've been preaching to a couple of chats that I'm in with my girls, because I'm like, look, I started the chat and I want to get out of the chat because you're driving me up a freaking wall, because all it does is buzz all day long, right? And so what I'm trying to teach them is if I'm coming in here for like a contest and I'm posting a contest, or I'm posting a post idea or a message or something like that, you know, you don't all have to give me a thumbs up. When I see your little bubble face, I know that you've seen it, and that's all I need, right? Don't you love it now that they've let you, where you can respond to the actual thing as opposed to, does that make sense? You know, you can like hold it down and respond. That's been helpful too. But you know, I mean, those chats, here's the deal. They're good for building team, and they're good for building camaraderie. So I encourage you to find 1 or 2 that you stay excited about. I'm in a couple that I lead, and then I'm in one with like, you know, a couple of my just top people that don't drain me, that just fill me up, and we bounce ideas off of each other. And so, you know, have a few of those. It's a great way to stay plugged in and stay connected, and also help you not miss stuff, you know? So there you go. Does that help at all? There's my stay plugged in. It's important. You'll slowly drift away if you don't. You know, I will say this one other thing. You know, I have found that people don't quit this business. I have yet to have anybody, I lied. That it happened to me last year. This one girl, for the first time, so now I can't say this anymore, came to me and said, I quit. I canceled out of the system. I'm done. And that was it. And then blocked me, and I never heard from her again. And it was so crazy because we'd had a party 2 weeks before, and she signed up 4 loyals. I have no clue. I still to this day have no clue what happened. Other than her, I've always been able to say this. No one has ever just quit on me. What they do is they drift. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, people don't just call you up and go, screw you, Stormy, I don't want to be on your team anymore. You're not going to hear that. What you're going to find is that people slowly disengage and begin to kind of break away and not stay plugged in anymore. And it becomes easier and easier to not be a part of the business. That's what I've found. And so, don't be the girl, don't be the guy that drifts, be the person that stays plugged in, because that's going to keep your fire going.
Sorry, I was writing that down. That's good. I'm taking notes. If it looks like I'm looking down, I'm taking notes.
Thank you. I thought you were reading, maybe. I didn't know.
Nope. Soaking all your goodness. Okay. So we have a couple of newbies that we try to, or not newbies, even other, 6 months. I don't know what a newbie qualifies to for you, but you come in out of the gate and you sign like 10 loyals in 2 weeks, right? Because it's pretty new, or 5 loyals in 2 weeks, whatever it is. It's a pretty good number. I know I did that. I would throw up a couple posts and then I was like, people are just coming to me. This is awesome. Like, Tammy keeps telling me I got to message people. I don't have to message people. They're coming to me. This is awesome. And then, that kind of like stops happening. That kind of tapers off. You have to work a little harder. So kind of what we keep hearing is they get discouraged and they're like, oh no, I'm in a slump. I'm in a slump. I'm in a slump. I'm like, you're not in a slump. So maybe just talk about just the importance of working your business consistently, even when you may not be putting somebody in the computer every day, because I try to stress to my girls, like, hey, the steps to success does not say one loyal customer a day, you guys.
Right. So. Yeah. No, I mean, I would never call a day without a loyal a slump, or even a week without a loyal a slump. Like Stormy said, there is a reason why they call it the steps to success. And there's a reason why it's the number that it is. You guys, I don't know if you know this, but Mark and Pam that put this company together, Mark was in the top 10 of a company in the 90s that sold long distance. I don't know if some of you may not have even been alive whenever you had to like pay for long distance. We didn't have cell phones. We had I was just explaining to my 8-year-old, like how phones used to be plugged into a wall and like what a rotary was. Okay. So this is back in the day. So they were in this business together, Pam and Mark, had been in it a lot longer, and Pam kind of came in and had about a good year or two before things started going downhill in that business, because obviously the market was changing. This should be a lesson to you to never join a network marketing company that's based on technology, because technology is constantly changing, right? So anyway, as cell phones came out, as long distance became cheaper and cheaper, this company began to decline. And as the company declined, the owners of the company went to the top leaders. Mark was one of them, and said, please, we need you guys to go around. Thank you so much, sweetie. We need you guys to go around and keep telling all your team and keep telling everybody. They had conference calls, but that was about it. They didn't have Zooms and things like we have, social media. And they said, go around and tell everybody that we're doing fine. And even though they knew they weren't. And if you do that, we'll give you guys a huge bonus before we shut the company down. And, Mark was the only one. Mark Pentecost, our owner, is the only one who did not take that deal. Every other person that was at the top took that deal except him. So when I preach about the integrity of this company, that's just one small example of what I'm talking about. So here comes this crazy product called the Wrap, right, or the Ultimate Body Applicator, and it's presented to Pam through a mutual friend of hers and Luis, who formulated the Wrap. So she finds out this product and she says, how else would I bring this to people except through network marketing? I've seen what network marketing can do for me. I want to bring this through network marketing. And so who is the first person you think she called when that happened? She called Mark, and she didn't call anybody else. She called Mark Pentecost and said, would you want to start a network marketing company with me? And we're going to found it around this product. Now, I tell you all that and give you a tiny bit of history, because all of that helped my brain whenever I started kind of knowing a little bit about who I was working. I hate to say working for, they're not our boss, but who was leading me down this journey. Number one, they've been there. They know what it takes to run a successful business, and they know what it takes to run it without social media. So we've got it 10 times easier. Can you imagine building your business literally in people's homes every single night, being away from your kids every single night? I mean, we don't have to, my kids are like in the next room. I was just doing a puzzle about 15 minutes ago and was like, okay, girls, gotta go. Daddy's putting you to bed. So we don't know the definition of true sacrifice like a lot of people have built. And so, I think about the fact that these two people came together, made this amazing company, and founded this amazing company. They know the ropes. They know they've been out in the field. And what they did was they put together an incredible compensation plan. They took the best parts of all these different compensation plans that they'd studied. They put together, and then they put together a plan and a way for you to be able to make money. And when they did that, they founded it. It was called the Steps to Success. Okay. And it was go out, get 3 distributors, get 4 loyal customers. Now, I don't know about you guys, but people that have made millions in network marketing before and then came and founded their own company, I tend to trust them. And I tend to go, okay, you know what you're doing since I've never done this before. So if they say that 7 is the magic number for the month, then we should believe that. Now, the problem is that some of us are going to make one post on Facebook and nobody's going to respond. Some of us are going to make our first post on Facebook and 25 people are going to respond. And neither is wrong and neither is right, because here's the deal. Both take consistency over time, over and over and over. A slump, if any of you started in June or in July to say that you're in a slump, I mean, God love you. Like I'm kind of laughing on the inside. Like I want to hug you like sweet little children and just be like, oh, pumpkin, you just don't even know. Like that's not a slump. That is not a slump, okay? Having a couple of off days, having a few days where you post and things aren't picking, getting the attention that you want, that's not a slump, all right? So what you have to realize, this business, just like any other business, just like anything else in life, just like your marriage, just like your relationship with God, just like parenting, you are never going to knock it out of the park every single day, ever. That's just not how life works. We can't always be right here. But what you can do is be consistent and watch those consistent and persistent actions add up over time to where you look up and go, oh my gosh, I'm a diamond. Oh my gosh, I'm a double diamond. Wow, I'm an ambassador diamond. I'm in the Millionaires Club. And there is a reason why all these ambassadors and all these people in the Millionaires Club, whenever they get interviewed, there's a reason why when they're asked, how did you do it? Half of them go, I just did the steps. I don't even really know. And it's because that's exactly what happens. You do the steps enough time and you teach it enough time to enough people. You look up and all of a sudden you're going, oh my gosh, I had 4 people on my team and now I have 12. And then this month that you have 12 people, now you've duplicated, now you got 24. Oh my gosh, now there's 36 people. Now there's 78 people. And that's how it works. You guys, you'll start jumping. It takes some time, but you'll start jumping and growing in these huge increments to where your work gets to be duplicated and multiplied. And that's an incredible feeling, because here's the thing, your goal and your focus and my focus is, even as an ambassador diamond, guess what? They don't go to you whenever you get to like double or triple or presidential, okay, or ambassador. They don't take us aside and go, hey guys, come here. I got to tell you something. What you've been doing is it's not actually the way to keep going. What you've been doing, it's actually all wrong. We need to we're going to show you guys this totally different way to build your business. They just don't do that. And I kind of thought that's what would happen. Like once I hit ambassador, I thought, oh, there's like some new mecca, some new like level of that I haven't reached yet that they're going to show me so that I can go make $1 bajillion. And you know what they told me? They were like, you're doing great. Keep doing exactly what you're doing. Go build another Ruby. Go build another Ruby. Go practice your steps to success. Go help somebody be a Ruby. And that's exactly what they are teaching us today, guys. As an ambassador, that is what I am being taught and what I'm being told, is to be consistent every single day and practice those steps. So I love you, but you're not allowed to say you're in a slump if you've been in the business for less than, I don't know, like a good year. Okay? Then maybe I'll give you one slump. But after that, you only get one. And then no, you're not in a slump. It's just business. It's just consistency every single day, you guys. That's all it is. Some days are going to be 10 times better than others. Some days you're going to sign 4 loyals in one day. Some days it's going to take you, 22 days before you even sign your first loyal in the month. And that's okay.
Awesome. That was perfect. So I'm going to kind of piggyback like 3 questions. Everybody is busy. Like, I don't know anybody that's legit, like, I have nothing to do all day. Give me something to do, right? Like, we all have kids. We all have jobs. We all have something. So we're all busy. But you know, how can you not use busy as an excuse?
Oh, so when people tell me that they're busy, it bothers me on a lot of levels. The first reason that it bothers me is because of my own story. So when I started, Audrey was 3.5 months old. Grace was 2.5 years old. You know, had a marriage and a husband that actually wanted me to, like, you know, talk to him and, you know, kiss him every once in a while. We were teaching Sunday school. I owned a lingerie store. So I was the owner of a 3,000 square foot boutique that needed a lot of work, had employees and all that. I owned the bridal show. So I was in charge of, like, taking all the booth rent and putting on this huge production in January, and that was ramping up. I was also singing in a band on Friday nights, sometimes Saturday nights, to earn extra money. Like, I was legit in a classic rock band that we would, like, play weddings and retirement homes, and it was a good time. Good time. I miss those days. All those guys are either dead or can't walk. I was in an old man band. Okay, so all of that was going on while when It Works found me. And I will never forget kind of mentioning it to Danny and him saying, you know, Ashley, absolutely not. Like, we had a fight a week prior to me finding this, and it was the fight of, you do too much, you say yes too much, you think you can run the world, you can't, you're driving me crazy, you've got to stop saying yes to stuff. And so then, of course, a week later, I pick up, you know, $1 million business, because that seemed logical for what my husband had told me at the time. And so I could not have been more busy if I tried. And yet I still found time to work this business. I still found time. I worked it at night. I worked it all throughout the day. I didn't sleep much. I got sick a lot. I made some sacrifices during that time because I went ambassador in such a crazy time. And so, you know, I think what I have realized is that we want to make excuses and we want to say things like, I'm just so busy. But the problem with that is every time somebody tells me that they're so busy, I am able to point out people that are 20 times more successful in this business that are 20 times busier than they are. You know, I think of a girl that is a double diamond that has 2 sets of twins. She has 5 kids, 2 sets of twins. It's a double diamond that homeschools her kids. I just, there are so many women that have gone all the way to the top that were working 13 and 14-hour days for corporate America and came home and did this, or that were teachers and then had a side job on the weekends and made this work at night. Like, if you want to do this, you will find a way to do this. It's being focused and being intentional with the time that you do have. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I've been posting this like little thing on the page that's like, help, I have 30 minutes a day to work my business. And I did that for a girl that is now a Ruby that, you know, wanted help. She was like, tell me what to do. I come from corporate America where, like, I am told what to do every day. I have my list, I check it off, I know I've done well, and I can go home. And she said, with this business, I don't know what to do, and I have so little time to work it. And I said, okay, well, if you'll give me your lunch break for the next, let's say 3 months, give me your lunch break. Commit to give me your lunch break. You're not going to scroll. You're not going to watch Netflix. You're not going to make a phone call. You're not going to do anything except work on your business on your lunch break. Can you do that for me for the next 3 months? And she said, absolutely, I can give you that time. So perfect. So that's what we started with. And that's kind of where that help. I have 30 minutes a day to work my business. Can you help me grow my business? And that's exactly what we did in just that 30 minutes a day. And so I would encourage those of you that are like, look, I can barely find 10 minutes of, you know, at a time. Take those 10 minutes, those little pockets that you do have all throughout the day, and be intentional with them. Be focused. The problem is that we have way more time than we think. We're just not focused and intentional with it, especially with our stinking smartphones, especially with technology at our fingertips. We waste so much time. You know, girls will tell me, oh my God, I am just so busy. Like, I am so busy watching, like, I am just like so busy. Like, I can't even do this business. Like, it's so hard. I have like 3 kids and like a husband and like a cook and like a work. And then they'll post almost every single night about like The Bachelor or Bachelorette, I guess is what's on now, and Game of Thrones, or they'll post about just cut up with Scandal. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, we have so much more time than we think. I think a lot of us just make excuses, or we're not focused and intentional with that time. So, Yeah, that was probably more than you wanted to hear, Stormy. I'm sorry.
Nope. I love it. I mean, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
So
Well, good.
So to bridge off that, what is one thing that you try to do every single day for your business? Like one thing that you're like, I don't care. I'm not going to sleep until this is done.
I would say adding and connecting are two things like you have to do. People say, well, I'm running out of people to talk to. I'm like, how are you running out of people to talk to? I am constantly pulling new people in to watch my business. At this point, I'm having to delete friends so that I can just be able to add new friends. But I am constantly following new people, joining new groups, and then connecting with those people. So those are things that, like, no matter what, every single day, I've easily got 5 to 10 new people that I've added on Facebook. And I mostly work on Facebook, but over Instagram. I wish that I understood and liked Instagram more. I just don't. So I do a little, but it's not my favorite. So I am really big on utilizing Facebook because it's still working for me. And so, yeah, adding new people and then connecting. That's the key. Is people are like, well, I added 20 new people. I'm like, well, do you think that here's the deal is you're just expecting them to start following and watching your stuff and then loving everything and then be like, well, I need greens. That's what I need. No, that's not how it works. It works by you connecting with those people, commenting on their stuff, liking their stuff, getting involved in their world, and taking an interest in them before they'll ever take an interest in you. And so that's what I spend, for sure, every single day. That is what I'm spending time doing. And I always get asked this question. No, I don't cold message. I don't just like, hey, Megan, I see you run a t-shirt business. Do you want to buy greens? Like, no, that's not how I roll. I don't care for that. There are people that will teach it. And sadly, some of those people are at the top right now. And it makes me want to, because it's not how I want to run my business. But that being said, there is still plenty of room for all of us that run our business through connections and through making relationships. And so, anyway, that was a side note. But yeah, I would say that would be the thing I do, like, without a doubt, every single day.
Perfect. So if you have somebody that's running out of their warm market and they're trying to branch out and find new ways, is that what you would suggest? Or do you have something else that you would tell them? Like, hey, I know you've kind of feel like you've gone through your warm market.
Yeah. Well,
here's my next suggestion.
Yeah. There's a couple of different things. So first of all, have you ever had your husband bring you a glass of water, but like maybe it kind of just tasted like there's dust in it? Like it was like he poured dust in the glass and then put water in it? That's what I think happened. Sorry. I like have dirt in my throat right now. The question was warm market. Okay. So a couple of different things. If you feel like you're running out of your warm market, then you're not adding people. So that has to be done daily. And you guys, you can't just be adding random people. I would rather see you add 5 to 10 specific people that were intentional and you thought it out versus just, oh, her name starts with a Q. I'm going to add all names that start with Q today. That was random, like the most random letter of the alphabet to pick. But do you see what I'm saying? Don't do that. I have a couple of, like if you're into makeup, go to a makeup blogger that you love. Go to a makeup page that you absolutely love. Look at their last video. See who liked their video, okay? Because you can click on the likes. Let's say they've got 15,000 likes on their video, right? And you click on that. It's going to give you the list of everybody that liked it. So I like to scroll through, and Facebook a lot of times will show you who you have a mutual friend with up at the top. So if I've even got one mutual friend, I'll friend people from there. I just got a loyal last month that signed up for the Cleanse BOGO because there was some comedian that I like, and I always try to comment or reply to somebody else's comment that's like well thought out and funny or whatever, even if it's just an emoji. So like there's this comedian that I follow that is so stinking funny. And so like I'll wait for people to post on her stuff. And when they do, if they post something funny, I'll post like a laughing emoji because it really is funny to me like that. what they said was hilarious. So I'll do that, and then I'll friend them. Does that make sense? That way it's not like completely out of the blue and completely from nowhere. And it takes a little more time to do that versus just add friend, add friend, add friend, add friend. But I would rather know that I have a connection with these people and that I'm going to enjoy them being on my news feed. And there's just different schools of thought. You know, some people are like, they're just mass quantity, and that's not me. I prefer to find 10 people a day that I have something in common with, that I genuinely think would be interested in what I do, or that I have potential, versus add 50 and hope that one of them is legit. Does that make sense? So I'd rather take 5-10 minutes and do that. So I don't think you can say you've run out of your warm market, because there are just so many people out there in the world. So that's the first thing. The second thing is utilizing your loyal customers. And maybe there are people that don't want to do what you do, but they're willing to help you. So for example, the other day I posted, who would be willing, gosh, I told you there's dirt in my throat right now. Precious, what did you give me? Okay, so the other day I posted something about, would you host a post? Would you post something on your timeline for me? And I was really shocked how many people said yes. Like, it was crickets at first. So I got like upper lip sweat, because I was like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. Nobody's saying yes. And then like one person posted and said, no, but keep going. And I'm like, meh. So it was really like so frustrating. But then here came a few people. And so, and PS, just a little, I'm not going into social media tips. That's a whole other, I did a whole video on that on the team, on the Legendary page not too long ago. But, you know, anytime somebody comments on one of your posts, reply back. It helps your stuff keep getting thrown up to the top of people's news feeds, especially if it's a good it works post, right? So try to reply back to everyone, even if it's just, oh my goodness, thank you so much, I'm going to message you. So I did that, and then I sent those people 3 greens and a wow. That's it. It's not like I sent them a ton of stuff. I sent them 3 greens on the go and a wow to say thank you for hosting it. But I got 2 customers from that, and like 10 people said they'd do it, and I think 4 people or 5 people actually did it. From that, 2 customers came out of it. So, you know, a lot of times it's not just that, it's utilizing other people's warm market. So that's how, that's how I've really built a lot of my business over the last, I would say 3 to 4 years, since my warm market feels way more lukewarm and cold. You know what I mean? It's utilizing friends' warm market. And then the other thing too, you guys, is, gosh, find that person on your team. It's just kind of a side thing, but if you're ever feeling like, okay, I'm in a slump, I'm just not signing anybody up, find that person on your team, and maybe it's even a sideline person that just seems to be rocking it out, and get in their hip pocket just for a day, for 2 days, and just say, can I just bug the heck out of you for 24 hours? I just want to know, what is it? What are you excited about right now? Ask them a few questions. Interview those people. Your new person that just signed up 6 loyal customers, be like, girl, what did you say? What are you posting? What are you doing? Get excited for them and with them. That energy, all this new blood that came in, there should be nobody talking about being in a slump. Like, there is so much new energy and excitement right now on this team. It's crazy. So utilize that, don't let that go to waste, that new fire. It's kind of like if you're having a hard time in your marriage, or you're not feeling that, that real, I almost said something that would have been a that's what she said. You're not, just feeling it. You're not real into it. Things are feeling cold a little bit, or like not as hot as they used to be. One of the best things you can go do is like be around some 18-year-olds or some newlyweds or some people that just can't keep themselves away from each other, and they're just all over each other. Spend some time with a couple like that, and I'm guarantee you'll go home and all of a sudden things don't feel as cold as they did anymore. It's the same concept. I remember our marriage counselor taught us that. It's like, y'all need some newlywed friends. When we went to counseling for a while, it's like, y'all need some newlywed friends. People that just can't stay away from each other and can't keep their hands off each other. And so we did. We found some friends that were really like new and excited about their marriage. And guess what? It absolutely rubbed up on us. And so do the same thing with your team. That was actually really probably not a great analogy, but I hope y'all got what I meant with that. Did y'all get it a little bit? Kind of got it? Jen S, she's like, no, sorry. Or maybe her face is just frozen. I think your face is frozen.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
there it is. She's smiling now. Okay. It was just kind of like this. It was stuck there for a while. So I was like, all right, she ain't feeling it. That's okay. Okay.
Okay. So I have two more questions, and then I'm gonna open it up to them to see if any of them have any questions.
Okay, I'll be fast. I'm talking a lot, so go ahead.
No, that's perfect. I mean, everybody on here on the Zoom has never, from what I know, heard you talk on a Zoom.
Oh.
So I'm sure they are loving it.
I remember them from a long time ago.
Okay, so you said something earlier about this being like a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
So I know that kind of talks about being in a slump too, and your why, it all kind of ties together. But can you just elaborate on that a little bit more?
Yeah, you guys, I really think that at the end of the day, when you kind of plant your flag and you say, look, this is what I'm doing, you can constantly run and chase the thrill of a brand new company or of a brand new, business venture or whatever it is. But at a certain point, what I have realized, and you guys, this is coming from the girl who doesn't stick with anything. I mean, I stick with nothing. I have like zero discipline. But for some reason, when it comes to business and making money, like I will do what it takes. That's just how God hardwired my brain. And so I have just had to realize that with this business, my flag is planted. I'm not going anywhere. I have read and studied and learned enough to know that the people that make the kind of money that will blow your ever-loving minds are the people that find a company, they find a home, and they stick with it, and they don't give up. And so when I think about that, and it's kind of like, with quitting off the table, or when you take quitting off the table and you realize this is what I'm going to do this no matter how long it takes me, right? Then there are a lot of different things happen. One of the things that happens is you give yourself a lot of grace for making mistakes. You do. You don't think about things in terms of slumps or I'm having this terrible time. A person that's running a marathon may go, wow, that mile wasn't fast. It wasn't as fast as I wanted it to be, but for the love, I just ran a mile out of 26.2 miles, right? Do you see what I'm saying? So if we're kind of thinking of this as this like long journey, and we all want to be in this for the next 26 years. I don't know about you, but I sure want to be. I want to be collecting a crazy paycheck for the next 26 years. And so when I think about it that way, in this like long distance kind of thing, which by the way, I hate to run, so I don't know why I'm using running analogies because you brought it up, Stormy. But, I would think that, if you take a year at a time, maybe you didn't promote, maybe it didn't go as fast as you want, but you look up and you go, wow, I am further in January of 2018 than I was in January of 2017. Wow, I am further in August of 2017 than I was in August of 2016. And so that's one of the things that happens is you kind of give yourself some grace and some room to be able to make mistakes. That's one of the things. The other things is that you're able to let stuff roll off your back. No's, people that tell you no, people that quit, people that might be hateful or not encouraging to you, whatever it might be. You're willing to kind of let those things go and roll off of your back because you're so focused on the next 26 years, right? That the thought of somebody saying no to you doesn't stop your race, right? That's just a speed bump on the way. That's just little pothole. I got to run around that pothole. And so I think that happens too whenever you're looking at this long term. The other thing too is you get a little bit fearless. When you know that this is what you want to do, you're not afraid to talk to people about it and tell them because you've made a commitment. You're not going anywhere. Your flag is planted. And so there's something that kind of comes with that. I'm coming up on my 6th year. And it's so crazy to say that 6 years. I remember when I started, Denise Walsh had been in it for 5 years. Denise is a black diamond. And so I remember thinking, I cannot fathom being in this company for 5 years. That is crazy. In dog years, like in network marketing years, it is kind of like dog years. It's like we've been doing this for 35 or something. It's nuts. And I remember thinking there is no way I could stay with something that long. Like, I'm just in to make my money and get out. Like, I'm going to make my money, and then when the new wears off, I'll be on to the next thing. That's truly what I thought. And so to think about the fact that now doing this 6 years, and I can't wait for the next 6 years, I'm truly so ecstatic about what the next 6 years hold for this business. Just that long-term perspective. It's so exciting still to talk to people because I know what I have my hands on. I know that the vehicle that we have is a vehicle that can help people with their finances or help people with their health and wellness. Like, that's pretty much 99% of the people on earth. They need more money, or they want more money, or they want to look better, feel better, look younger, or get healthier or lose weight. Well, we've got all of that. And so if that doesn't make you so stinking excited to get up out of bed every single day and to talk to people, then I don't have I got nothing else for you. But it should. That fire should be lit. I mean, really every single day, knowing that I've got absolutely nothing to lose because you've got this long-term perspective with the business. You know that you're not going anywhere. And, and that's attractive to people, especially nowadays, whenever it seems like the thing to do is to go, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that, I'm going to go over here, I'm going to do this, I'm going to blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's so freaking annoying. I mean, I have girls on my team that have left, and it shocked me when they left, and it hurt my feelings when they left, and they're on their 5th company now. I'm like, you had the company. It was right here. And I think that just lessens their credibility every single time they're jumping around to a new thing. And so you kind of plant that flag and say, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm not going anywhere. You're going to have people that come to you 3, 4, 5, 6 years down the road and say, hey, are you still doing that rap thing? And it will blow your mind. You're like, yeah, I've been posting about it every freaking day for 6 years. Yeah, still doing that. Oh, I think I'm ready to try it. Oh, I think I'm ready to join. So I think that that's another awesome benefit that comes from kind of knowing it's a long-term thing.
Perfect. You don't even know you did it, but you just helped my next question. So the last question I have for you, and then like I said, I'm going to let them ask, is I know when I had my first, I've had, I would say 2 big, like bigger ranks quit on me. I mean, bigger for my chart. Like, I know, on your ambassador chart, that emerald is not as big of a thing, but and I know it just like, it almost, I felt like it was just drug me down. Like, I spent more of my time, trying to like get them back in the game, or then going and just being like, oh, well, sorry about you. Like, that really stinks for you because you had a good thing. And moving on to the next person. And now, being in it 2.5 years, like, I now see why Tammy was so like, it was easy for her to be like, move on. It's fine. Like, move on. So can you kind of talk about that? Because I mean, a lot of these girls I know brand new signed a couple people on $9.99 and then, immediately like, boom, they're gone. So
well,
you have that, you get discouraged when people drift.
And I'm not saying that it's not discouraging, so I don't want to minimize the fact that you're discouraged by people leaving. I'm not going to minimize that. But here's what I'm going to say. You guys, when it is that easy to join a business, it is that easy to quit. You have to realize that. Part of the appeal of it works is that you can get in for a really low cost and there's no future commitment. I mean, that's what we preach, right? But then we get pissed whenever people are like, well, there's no commitment and I don't want to be in it. Then we get mad whenever they're not committed. When we're setting them up from the very beginning to be like, there's no commitment, just get in. It's only $10. And then we're mad that they don't want to be an ambassador. It's like, well, all we did was preach to them that it's only $10. You can get out whenever you want. You don't even have to you don't have to have a website. You don't have to ever order anything ever in the history of ever. Will you just join my team? And so I went into that $10 promotion knowing that I would be thrilled over the moon if even 10% of the people that I signed up got their own customers and actually wanted to do something besides just get $10 wraps. You guys, they have never done anything like that in the history of ever. And so, of course, there were going to be a massive amount of people that signed up and enrolled that only wanted $10 wraps. That's all they were ever going to want. And that is okay. That is okay. Take it and be excited for the fact that the company did something that was really awesome, that caused a big frenzy and a big stir and ignited a lot of people. And if you even have one person stick around from that, it was worth it. If you even had one person that added one loyal to your team from that, then it was growth on your team. And so don't let yourself, I always tell, Tammy used to make fun of me for saying this until it clicked with her. Like, you are allowed to cry and be upset for 5 minutes, and then minute 6, move on. You guys, there are times when I will literally set an alarm on my phone, a timer on my phone, and I will give myself 5 minutes to wallow, think about I don't know what that was. It sounded like Cujo, like coming through the... Thank you. I couldn't stop that. I don't know where I was. Oh, I will set an alarm on my phone. I will give myself exactly 5 minutes to wallow, feel sorry for myself, be mad, whine about it, cry about it. And then when that timer goes off, I'm done. I'm done thinking about it. I am over it, and I've got to move on, because this business, you can't turn around and walk backwards to pick people up. You just can't. You've constantly got to be moving forward. And so I always try to think of it like, look, I've got my hand back behind me, and I will always be there if anybody ever wants to pick their business back up. But you trying to pull people along, let's say have you guys ever, maybe, I don't remember what this analogy was for. I'm terrible about analogies, but maybe it was like dating, or it was something. But I remember in my youth group, like, whatever it was, we were standing on a chair, and you were supposed to try to pull the person up versus them try to pull you down. And I think the whole analogy was, how much easier is it for somebody that's down here to pull you down versus you to try to pull somebody up on your chair, the effort that takes, Now, if the person wants to come up there, it's not difficult for a person to take a step up onto that chair, is it? They can do it. But if you're trying to pull them up there, you are absolutely going to get pulled down in the process. And so remember that. And that's why we talk about, like, you got to be like Elsa, # be like Elsa, and let it go. You have to. You absolutely have to in this business. That was like the best thing that ever could have come in. Thank you, Alex Nicole with an E. I appreciate that. I like my analogies too. But you've got to let it go, and you have to be willing to say, she doesn't want this, and I have to be okay with that. And one of the hardest things you will face in this business, and y'all, it is still one of the hardest things that I fight in this business every day, is, why doesn't she want it as bad as I want it for her? Why doesn't she see her potential as much as I see her potential? Why doesn't she want to make $1 million like I want to make $1 million? And the deal is that, you guys, Jim Rohn always says, don't sign up for that class. Like, there's a class that you could try to take on why did that person quit network marketing, but he always says, don't sign up for that class. It's a class you will fail trying to figure out, and you will lose your momentum in the process. And so it's not that we just like middle finger to them and like catch you on the flip side. I'm not saying that, but there is a way to be able to like bless and release people from your business and say, this is difficult. This is hard. I took my 5 minutes and I stomped and cried about it. There was one girl I took like 14 minutes. Okay. You're allowed to have, if you need 14 for one really, really great person on your chart, I'll give you that. But then truly let it go. They don't want it as bad as you want it. And you will only expend energy, time, and effort that could be used on finding new people and new blood and new excitement over those people that don't want it. So not everybody gets into this to make $1 million, you guys. Not everybody gets into it to go diamond. Some people just want to make a few $100. They make it and then they're done. They don't think, wow, I did that for 2 months and made a few $100. What would happen if I stuck with it for 4 months? Could I make some more? And here's where I have some empathy for them. I don't know about you guys, but I hate working out. I'm terrible at it. Clearly, like, I don't have the figure of a girl that works out and the figure of a girl that eats a lot of guacamole and tacos. That's how I roll and drinks whiskey. This is my life. But here's the thing. I have realized, and then I have empathy for these people, because I have been the girl for 35 years who gets on a roll, loses some weight, or like starts working out, and then I hit the goal that I initially set, and I'm like, woohoo, celebrate with a donut, right? Like, does anybody else do that? Or thank you, I appreciate it. Yes, thank you. It's not just me. I have always been that girl. And so there's a side of me that like will get so upset about people in business that don't stick with it. And then I realize they're doing exactly what I do with working out and eating right. I get on a roll, I hit that goal, and then I'm like, woohoo, I'm done, right? I don't look at it as this long-term thing that if I would just stay consistent over time, man, I would hit my goals so much faster and be that much further down the road, right? So it's the exact same thing, and I don't apply it to other areas of my life. So I can't be mad when there's women that don't, or men that don't apply it to this aspect that I'm so passionate about. And so I don't know if that makes any sense, but there you go. There you go with another freaking analogy. hopefully makes. I'm so thirsty, but I don't want to drink dirt water. I'm so thirsty. It looks so clean, but it's not. Okay.
Perfect. Awesome. And I know you guys, like a lot of y'all are sitting here probably saying like it's easier said than done. Cause I swear to you, I said that to Tammy, like in person and in my mind 100 times. And a lot of you that have been with me like for a year, y'all know, we've had these conversations, and I easily can now look back at like where my chart was this time last year when I was like super sad and like feeling sorry for myself for longer than 5 minutes. And I look at my chart now and like my business now, and I'm like, yeah, like it's so much better. And in my mindset right then and there, I was like, I'm never gonna find anybody else. That's it. Like this is the best it's ever gonna be. And I mean, thank goodness I got out of that. That's all I can say. Thank goodness.
And you know, there's one quick thing I want to share. And I know I've also talked about like whiskey and said words I probably shouldn't have, but I love Jesus a whole lot. And one of my very favorite verses was a verse my dad taught us years ago on a family vacation that wasn't really a vacation, but they called it a vacation. It wasn't. And it was Isaiah 43:18 and 19. And it says, forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I'm making a way in the desert and streams in the wasteland. And I love that verse and like God's promise. And I know that you can't take every verse in the Bible and apply it just to what you want. But, you know, when I think about those words and how true they are, even in this business, that a lot of times God is I'm not saying he's getting rid of people in our business, but I think sometimes what he's trying to say is like, hey, but Stormy, like turn around, look over here. Ashley, turn around. Megan, Aaron, you know, Candace, look over here. Come here. I want to show you guys. There's somebody that's better over here, but you're so focused on this wasteland and this person that doesn't want to do anything that you won't even see that right over here is like this amazing thing. And I want to take your chart to look like this. And you guys, the people that got me to ambassador, there are so few of them that are still on my chart and still working 6 years later. So few of them. But those people made me a millionaire. Those people that I worked with, they were in my business for a time. They were in my business for a season. They served an amazing purpose. And that's where you were able to just go, you know what? Like the bless and release. Like I wish you blessings, but I got to let you go because I'm going to miss out on something amazing if I don't. And so I get it. I'm not saying that you don't get to have your time to be really ticked about it. You do. But a lot of times when we're in that wallowing or we're just over here so upset about what could have been and we're looking at that chart like, but I was boxed for presidential. Do you know how many times I've been boxed for presidential on my 2.0 and boxed for triple? And I'm like a barely maintaining diamond with 14,000 in volume. Like on my 2.0, it sucks. I get it. I really do get it. But if I were to still stay wallowing on the girl from Hawaii that had so much potential that just quit on me, or the girl that just blocked me 2 weeks after her party, or the one that just was like, I just had a baby, I don't think I want to do this anymore. Like all these people that were supposed to be diamonds on my chart, if I were still focused on them, I would not be looking at new people and continually going, you know what? You don't want to do it. I can't make you. So I'm going to shift my focus over here and see what else God has for me. And again, that comes with that long-term perspective. You don't freak out about that. You know that this is part of the business. People are going to quit. People are going to stop. People are going to have slumps. People are going to say no. You know that's part of the business. So you're able to look at this with a long-term perspective of, okay, I thought this was how my chart was going to look to get me to double, triple, whatever it might be, diamond, ruby, but she's not going to be my executive. She's not going to be my ruby. She's not going to be my emerald. And that's okay. Who is? And sometimes it takes getting those people out of the way for you to see this amazing new person that rises up. And so, yeah, there you go. I'm done preaching. I'm sorry. Again, terrible analogy. Probably a terrible analogy, but there you go.
Okay, so I like your analogies too.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to have you guys, y'all can either, does everybody see this chat down on the bottom? I'm going to have y'all put your questions in the chat. And while we kind of wait, Ashley, I love your deck of cards analogy. You should tell them that one.
Yeah.
I use it a lot, but you do it better because it's yours. I just copy it from you.
No, I copied it from somebody else that isn't in the business anymore. So I refuse to give her credit because she was ugly to me when she left. But again, we by blessed and I released. She said that, and it's true, she probably got it from somebody else too, that this business is a lot like a deck of cards. And you know you're going to have 4 aces in that deck of cards. That's just a given. You know when you open a pack of cards and you unseal it, 4 aces. The problem is that a lot of us won't sign up 52 people into this business because we'll sign up the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth person, and none of them are aces. And so we go, well, I guess I'm not good at this business. And you stop at number 8, not knowing that number 9 and 10 were your aces. Or you sign up an ace as the very first person. The very first person you sign up, you flip over that card, and man, she's an ace, and she just takes off and goes crazy. And you're like, this is easy. I am awesome. I'm going to be ambassador in like 5 days. And you get so excited. And then the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th turn out to be, I don't know, like 2s or 4s or something. And so I think that a lot of times we give up way before we turn over that ace. And so I would just encourage you, that's part of it. We don't know who's going to work and when it's going to be the right time for people and when their why is going to be so deep they never quit. And so that's why it's important to keep just turning that. Every time you sign up a distributor, it's like turning over another card. And every time you're getting closer and closer to finding that ace. So
okay, questions? Unmute yourself if you have a question or put it in the chat. Anybody? I know you guys have to have questions. Don't be shy. Megan, Aaron?
Well, we've been over a lot. So, and we've been on for an hour and I talked a lot. So hopefully I answered a lot and they're processing. That's what I'm hoping. That's why there's no need for questions. It was just so thorough and
you covered it all.
That's exactly what it was. It's just,
Jamie, top right corner of your picture, hover over your picture and there's a unmute button, Jamie. Okay. Ashley, there's a question from Taylor. Can you see it in the chat?
What about wrap parties? Yes, I do them. I do them in person and I do them online. That was quick. Yes, I do them both. I'm awkward at them. I sweat every single time, but I just go through our new party pad. I love the new party pad. I think it's fantastic in that it just walks you right through all of the products. I don't even go over all of them because it literally has every product in there, and I think that can be a little bit too much. But I kind of just go through it and then open up that middle page toward the end and just say, here's the 2 ways that you can get it as a customer or a distributor, which sounds better to you. But yeah, anytime that you can have a wrap party or a wrap session or get somebody in person, the better it's going to be for your business. I went crazy like 2 weeks ago. I think I did 6 wrap parties in like 10 days. Not one of them was my wrap party of people that I set up, meaning it was ones for my team and doing whatever I could to get in front of their market. And some of them had 2 and 3. One of them, we had a great party. There was like, I think 13 people showed up and I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then we did another one a week later for the exact same group. And we had 1 person show up and it was a friend who said, I don't even have any money or have a credit card. I just came to just be here. So it was awful. It was so awkward. And then I did another one that just turned into a distributor training because not one person showed up. And then I did one where I got like 7 loyals and $400 worth of retail stuff. So it's so up and down. And again, what have I talked about? It's long-term perspective. I don't determine my success in this business on one party, and neither should you. I don't determine my success in this business on 1 month or even 1 year. It's a long-term thing that you're looking at. So my deal is have as many wrap parties as possible, as often as possible, with as many types of people as possible, so that you can learn and mess up and make mistakes and grow from it. But your first one will be terrible probably. Just be ready for it, and then learn from what you could do better, and then do it again, and then do it again, and do it again, and do it again. So yeah, have them. Wasn't sure if they were outdated. No, I just had a bunch of them.
I love wrap parties in person. I think they're so fun.
I do too. We got so many customers from those. I mean, there were so many girls that qualified themselves and got their free product. Like, I wasn't having to place loyals. It was so awesome. So if somebody is within like 2 hours of me, that I'm working with, that's on my team, and is like, that I've signed up, I'm like, yes, I will go and do a wrap party for you. Again, because my warm market, like, they've had the parties for me. All the girls that I would have called and said, can you have a party for me? They had their parties for me. So now I've had to go to that next like outer layer of friends, and then deal with my people's network. The people that I've signed up, talk to their network. That's how you're going to grow.
Perfect.
What do you think? I think we're good. I don't like to keep people on 45 minutes. We're rolling at like a full hour here. So you guys have been awesome. I appreciate you for listening to me drone on and on for over an hour.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know you're busy. I know people probably beg you to do Zoom for them all the time.
No. I am never too busy, and no, people don't beg me. Just a few, but that's okay. No, it's fun. I love them. I love you guys, and y'all are doing awesome. And don't let anybody or anything, and I'm mostly talking to yourself, don't beat yourself up and get in your head. You will be your worst critic and worst enemy. I've had like one hater in this whole business in 6 years. The only hater that I've really ever had that has done any damage has been me, myself, like right here in between my 2 ears, telling myself all kinds of crazy crap that isn't true. So be very careful about the words that you speak to yourself and what you say, and get that long-term perspective. And when you do, guys, it's like, you can kind of relax and find your place in this business, and it will make you want to work and make you want to be excited to get up every single day, because you've got more of a long-term perspective, and you're not just beating yourself up every day for not signing up 20 people, So yeah, you guys are doing great. Y'all are an awesome team. So thank you for being on tonight.
Thank you. Have a good night.
All right. Bye, ladies.
Bye.
We'll see you.